Welcome to Cheater Confessions. Let's get started with today's story. I was Derek, 29, living inside a quiet apartment shared with Maria. Early months felt balanced, warm, simple, solid. Morning routines included coffee, news, faint laughter, whispers across small kitchen tiles before schedules pulled us apart. Over time, outings with coworkers grew longer, messages stayed hidden, screens faced down, silence replaced easy talk, touch became rare. Bills stacked up. Rent, internet, groceries, insurance, rides, repairs. Everything landed on my card while she sighed about short funds. Evenings brought late arrivals, quick excuses, tired faces, distant replies, careless shrugs replacing once bright curiosity. Plans for music shows, lake trips, movie nights faded beneath claims of pressure, fatigue, endless work tensions. Hope pushed me forward. Dinners were cooked, notes were left, flowers placed, patience offered without demand. Whenever questions surfaced, Maria answered flat. There's nothing wrong. Work drains me. Loneliness crept into rooms once filled with connection, yet persistence kept me waiting, believing effort could restore closeness. That night, realization finally settled. I wasn't sharing love anymore. I was financing comfort I no longer belonged to. The tension broke on a quiet evening. I sat across from Maria at the small dining table, plates untouched, room held in uneasy stillness. Talk to me, I said. Something changed. What is it? She didn't soften. She didn't hesitate. Her eyes stayed fixed on the dark window. I don't see you as a boyfriend anymore, Derek, she said. You're just a roommate who pays. The sentence landed hard, clean, final. I blinked. So, that's it? I asked. No feelings? No trying to fix anything? She sighed, rubbing her forehead. We coexist well, she replied. The place is stable. Bills get paid. We don't need labels. Romance just makes things complicated. This way is easier for me. Silence held the space between us. You don't want to break up? I asked. No, she said quickly. Why mess up what works? We just stop pretending it's more than shared space. Her tone carried relief, as if she had solved something. I leaned back. Every memory played through my head. Trips we planned, nights we shared, promises once made. Then, everything went quiet inside. All right, I said. Roommates, if that's what you want. Her shoulders relaxed immediately. A small smile curved across her face. Thank you for understanding. I was worried you'd react badly. I nodded once. I hear you. She stood, grabbed her phone, and walked toward the couch, already typing, already gone. Meanwhile, clarity started forming in my mind. If I had just been redefined, then rules would change as well. That night I opened my laptop. Numbers filled the screen. Rent, water, power, internet, food. Each line received a fair split. Every shared cost divided evenly between two names, not one. This wasn't anger. It was adjustment. She had drawn the line. I simply stepped onto the correct side of it. Morning arrived with pale light crossing the counters. I brewed coffee, set a mug down, then opened the spreadsheet again. Rent split clean down the middle. Power divided evenly. Water balanced. Internet shared equally. Groceries separated entirely. No extras covered, no silent support. Maria walked in, hair tied back, eyes half open. She glanced at the screen. What's that? Our new arrangement, I replied. Roommate structure. Equal responsibility. She stepped closer, scanning numbers. You're serious? I can't handle half of this, Derek. I handled most of it before, I said. Now we both handle our side. That's not what I meant last night. I'm following exactly what you said. Her face tightened. You're punishing me. No, I'm living by your definition. Silence pressed against the walls. That afternoon, I moved my pantry items to one corner, stacked them neatly, ordered a mini refrigerator, placed it inside my room. Personal direction restored balance. When she returned from work, she opened the large fridge. Empty shelves stared back. Where's everything? My food is separate now, like any roommate setup. This can't be real, she muttered. It is. You've changed overnight. No, you adjusted the terms. I accepted them. She paced the kitchen. You're being heartless. I'm being organized. Later, her insurance company called my phone by habit. I ended the auto payment. Not my responsibility anymore. Her expenses remained hers. That evening, she tried a softer approach, voice lowered, tone careful. Derek, this isn't how it's supposed to work. This is exactly how it works between people sharing space. Frustration flooded her eyes. You're doing this to scare me. I'm doing this to respect your choice. She stepped back, stunned by the finality. Dinner remained separate. Silence filled the apartment. Two lives existing under one ceiling, divided with invisible borders now clear. That night, lying in the spare room, I realized something simple had shifted. For the first time in months, uncertainty was gone. She had named my role. I had simply accepted it. My friend Lucas found me outside the gym, keys spinning around his finger. I ran into Maria last night, he said. She wasn't alone. I paused. With who? Some guy from her office. Aaron, I think. They looked close. Not co-workers at a distance close. More like first date energy. I see, I said. The words carried no weight, just information absorbed and stored. Later, while stretching on the floor, I opened social media. Photos told quiet stories when captions didn't. Group shots at bars. Late dinners tagged as team bonding. In the corner of more than one image stood Aaron. Always near her. Always leaning in. Always smiling in a way that felt familiar. The pattern wasn't hidden. I just hadn't looked before. When Maria arrived home that night, her voice tried to sound light. Long shift, she said. Everyone went for drinks. I didn't even want to go. You went anyway, I replied. She shrugged, tossing her bag down. Everyone was there. It'd be awkward not to show up. Was Aaron there? I asked. Her movement stalled for half a second. Yeah, he's on the team. So what? Nothing, I said. She studied my face, searching for a reaction, a spark, some sign of jealousy. She found none. I turned back to my notes on the table. You don't care? She pressed. You said I'm your roommate. Roommates don't get involved. She scoffed, then disappeared into the hallway. Later, through the bedroom door, her laughter drifted out as she spoke on a call, voice light in a way I hadn't heard in months. My focus remained steady on the screen in front of me. Numbers, plans, steps ahead. Something important changed that night. I didn't feel replaced. I felt released. She had already chosen outside attention before redefining us. The downgrade had been preparation, not confusion. The next morning, I woke earlier than usual. I laced my shoes and began running around the block, breath measured, thoughts clear. I was no longer holding on to a relationship. I was preparing for a life without one. Days passed without conflict. Silence became normal, distance became structure. On a quiet afternoon, Lucas mentioned a friend named Naira who asked about me. She worked nearby, lived alone, and valued directness. I agreed to meet her for coffee. Nothing dramatic, nothing hidden. The evening arrived. I chose clean jeans, a plain shirt, simple shoes. While heading toward the door, Maria stepped out from the hallway. You're going somewhere? Yes, I said. With who? Someone. Her eyes narrowed. A date? That's what single men do, I answered. I didn't say you were single, she snapped. You said I wasn't your boyfriend. That leaves one option. She didn't respond. The door closed behind me. Naira greeted me with a calm smile. Conversation moved easily, without tension. She asked honest questions, listened carefully, and laughed without pretending. When the check arrived, she placed her card down firmly. We split, she said. No argument, no expectation. That gesture said more than words. When I stepped back into our apartment later, Maria sat on the couch, arms crossed, jaw tight. So you're out with other women now? Yes. You didn't even feel bad? Roommates have separate lives. You're doing this to hurt me. I'm doing this to live. She scoffed, stood suddenly, grabbed her phone. Fingers moved quickly across the screen. Within minutes, messages started going out. Group chats, mutual contacts. Her voice carried through the hall. He went out with another girl while we still lived together, she told someone. Cold, heartless. The next day, whispers followed me online. Vague posts, petty captions, indirect accusations. Naira saw one, then looked at me across a small table. Is that about you? It's noise. She smiled slightly. Good. I don't listen to noise. Meanwhile, Maria watched, restless, clinging to a version of control already long gone. The role she gave me had shifted how I behaved. Now she struggled with the reflection of her own words, and for the first time, she wasn't in charge of the story. The air felt heavier after that night. Maria stopped pretending everything was fine. Doors closed louder. Little acts of irritation filled each corner of shared space. I kept to myself, kept notes, kept things precise. One evening, tension reached a breaking point. She had rushed out earlier, leaving her phone plugged into the charger on the counter. Messages lit up the screen. I didn't touch it at first. Then another alert appeared. A name flashed. Aaron. Curiosity wasn't needed. Confirmation already existed. Still, I looked. "You played it well," he had typed. "He pays for everything. I won't need him much longer," she replied. That was enough. When Maria returned, I was seated at the table, screen facing down, expression steady. "We need honesty now," I said. Her eyes shifted. "About what?" "You and Aaron." I paused. "The plan, the backup, the comfort while you tested something else." Silence swallowed the room. "I was confused," she muttered. "You were strategic," I replied. "There's a difference." Tears gathered, then fell. "I didn't mean for it to go this far." "It went exactly where you guided it," I said calmly. Her voice cracked into pleading. "Derek, please. I was scared of losing stability. That's all. I never meant to lose you." "You already did," I answered. She stepped closer. "We can fix this. I'll cut him off. I'll try again." I leaned back. "You don't get to reset consequences. You defined our roles. Remember the words? Just a roommate who pays." That ended anything real. Her breathing staggered. "So that's it?" "Yes." She reached for the phone, dialing his number. When he didn't answer, panic filled her face. She tried again. Voicemail. Minutes passed. No reply. "That was your plan, wasn't it?" she whispered. "Him. He didn't sign the lease," I said. "He didn't cover your life." She slid to the floor, holding her head in her hands, reality closing in around her. That night, I packed a few bags. Not to run, but to prepare. Planning became protection. Whatever came next would be final. 2 days later, I gave Maria notice. 30 days. Enough time to plan, enough time to leave. She stared at me. "You're actually moving?" "Yes." "You can't just walk out." "I'm not walking. I'm finishing." Papers were signed that same week. Lease updated. My name removed. Everything clean, official, correct. She paced the apartment like a stranger in unfamiliar space. "My paycheck can't cover this alone," she said. "You know that. I'm not responsible anymore." "You're ruining my life." "You changed mine first." Aaron never came back. Calls stopped. Messages froze mid-sentence. Silence replaced promises. Her phone stayed dark. Reality stayed loud. Work hours increased for her. Shifts went longer. Complaints grew quieter. Friends stopped visiting. They listened to her story once, then twice, then doubted the version she gave. Invitations faded. One night, Naira met me near the park. Cold air wrapped around us. "Are you okay?" she asked. "Yes." "You don't look angry." "I'm not." She nodded. "That's rare." Inside the apartment, Maria sat with a calculator, papers scattered, numbers refusing to cooperate, car payments stacked, insurance overdue, credit cards maxed, days blurred into stress, makeup vanished, sleep shortened. She barely spoke. A week before the final day, her mother arrived, pleading voice, red eyes. "Couldn't you stay one more month?" she asked. "No," I answered. "You're all she has." She had me. When I returned to the bedroom one final time, only blank walls remained. The bed was gone. The lamp was gone. My presence had been erased. Maria stood in the doorway. "I thought you'd always be here," she said softly. "I stayed longer than I should have," I replied. No anger, no warmth, just truth. The next morning, I carried the last box down the stairs. The cab waited. I didn't look back. She watched from the balcony, silent, gripping the rail, replacing the security she had traded away. One sentence echoed, one decision rewritten, one power reversed. My new apartment wasn't large, yet every corner felt open. No tension clung to the air. Peace replaced the constant weight I had grown used to carrying. Naira helped me unpack without taking charge. She handed over boxes, waited when I paused, followed my pace. Respect flowed in both directions. There were no assumptions, no expectations, just two adults moving through shared hours carefully. Weeks passed. From scattered contacts, I learned what followed behind me. Maria couldn't afford the place alone. The landlord ended the lease early. She returned to her parents' house carrying only clothing and a few personal items. Her car went next. Payments failed. Nights once filled with noise turned silent. She found extra shifts at a local shop. Mornings started earlier. Evenings ended faster. Social feeds went empty. That world she tried to protect disappeared without warning. One afternoon, Lucas met me for lunch. He leaned back in his chair. "She keeps asking about you," he said. "I'm not available," I answered. He nodded. "You don't seem bitter." "I'm clear." Later that night, sitting beside Naira on the couch, I finally understood something. The hardest moment wasn't when Maria betrayed trust. It wasn't when she chose someone else. The moment that defined everything was much earlier. It was the night she looked at me and said, "You're just a roommate who pays." That sentence closed every door she hoped to keep half open. I took her at her word. I didn't argue. I didn't beg. I didn't try to rewrite reality. I simply stepped into what she described and moved forward. Power changed hands the second I stopped resisting truth. Looking around my new space, listening to quiet laughter beside me, feeling stability built on equality, I knew the outcome had nothing to do with revenge. It was clarity. She requested distance. I delivered boundaries. She removed love. I removed support. She chose comfort without effort. I chose freedom through acceptance. And that choice, more than anything else, rebuilt the life she thought she controlled. Thank you for watching.